Okay, now we come to the slide of identifying the different types of data storytelling. So the choice of the types of data storytelling depends on the objective of the story. And in this lesson, okay, we identified 3 types of report that is covered in the syllabus. Okay, so the first one is reporting, second is explanatory, and third is prediction. So these are some list of references that are used, okay, to find the content for this type of data storytelling, and you can go to this website to check further information. The first one is reporting. So what is reporting? Reporting data storytelling is about making statement about data patterns. So every claim that are made are supported and confirmed by patterns extracted from the visualization. So this reporting data storytelling is the simplest kind of stories which mainly focuses on facts and data commentary. However, the facts need to be presented in a coherent manner that puts across a point and decision makers can easily draw inferences from it. Okay, so meaning that it has to be put in a coherent manner so that it makes sense for a decision maker to draw inferences, okay, from the this kind of data storytelling. And then it normally has time elements. Okay, the stories can be about something in the past, in the present, or in the future. And it uses descriptive analytics to tell what happened. For example, last week, last month, the quarter year, or next year. Okay, and this kind of data storytelling is the most used visual analytic story, meaning that in this report, okay, in this reporting data storytelling, okay, it is supported by visualization. More visualization as compared to another 2 types of data storytelling. For example, a typical example of this kind of data storytelling is a sales report story. So where it comprises of number of sales, of amount of revenue that has happened in each quarter, probably in each geographical location and across each of the product type. Okay, and then it can be used by the marketing manager in their strategic marketing. So the advantage of this reporting data storytelling is that usually the data sources used to validate the findings from real data collected in interviews and from social medias. So it provides confidence for decision makers to make decisions. However, when the storytelling is all facts and figures, it tends to be boring and dull. And if it's not written wisely, it can create some negative perception with lacking of emotional intelligence. Why does this happen? Because as we know, reporting data storytelling is about facts, okay, and data commentary. So the elements of emotional intelligence is not really there, okay, but it can be overcome by increasing user engagement during data collection or explicitly tailor the finding to the user's interest. So meaning that when we collected data from the user, so we should involve the user, okay, get their engagement, okay, to discover, okay, their requirements, okay, and then it can be better represented, okay, and it doesn't look very dull kind of reporting. The second type is explanatory. So for explanatory data storytelling, it explores business problems and helps decision makers to identify the real issue at hand. So the story needs to be presented in a such manner that it can help the audience to understand, okay, the reason behind the problem through data. Okay, so the word explanatory means it involve detail or storytelling to explore problems and identify what are issues at stake, okay, and then try to propose solution, okay, for that problem. Okay, so for explanatory storytelling, it assists readers in understanding problems and root of the problems. Okay, root of the problems. So it assists user in understanding better why the problem occur, which is done through data exploration and supported by strong evidence through visualization. So we want to discover why there is a shortage supply of water in Selangor, Negeri Selangor. Okay, it has been happening over and over again. So in order to explain, okay, the situation, okay, so the narration should be supported with visualization from the exploratory research or investigation, okay, to in order that which becomes, okay, the data or the visualization becomes evidence, okay, to explain, okay, the problem. So sometimes the occurrence of the problem might not be obvious, okay, which requires deeper exploration and analysis of unexpected or unusual relationships between data patterns. Okay, so if we cannot see, okay, the occurrence of the problem, so we need to have a deeper exploration and analysis, okay, for any unexpected or any unusual relationships between data patterns, so that it can become evidence for the explanation towards the problem. Okay, for example, in a scenario faced by a telecom company which faces sudden large-scale network issues, okay, call drops and many subscribers opt out of their service. So how do we explain this? What are the problems? So we want to investigate this. Okay, so when they have done their investigation, so they have to prepare a report. So that kind of report is considered the type of explanatory. So in this case, an explanatory story, okay, will focus on the detail of the problem, such as probably the frequency of call drops, okay, the network issues, okay, the areas that will be precisely identified, okay, and then the technical detail towers, any problem with data cable, okay, and details of handsets used by customer will also be scrutinized, okay, because we are investigating the reason. And then all this explanation, when we represented in a sequence through graph and chart, will help the organization to get to the root of the problem and to take the right corrective action. So this is very important. So this kind of explanatory is often used, okay, is often used type of data storytelling in order to take some resolve problems faced by organization, okay, before corrective actions can be taken. So in terms of writing, the problem or issues need to be specifically addressed and discussed and precisely supported by evidence. So evidence comes from the investigation that is represented by visual representation, by chart representation. So if they are not resolved within the required duration, for example, hence they need to be highlighted too. So the data can be highlighted, for example, with bright colors. You can use red colors to show the importance level of the data, and then to show some alert, and then in order to amplify the concerned data patterns. So explanatory is for the type of data storytelling, okay, that explore or discuss about a problems faced by organization and how can the problems can be resolved, okay, and of course it has to gone through some investigation to support the corrective actions to be taken, okay, and the exploration of the problem, okay, will come out or will produce some findings, where the findings is presented in some visualization that can support the explanatory data storytelling. And the third type is prediction. So prediction data storytelling is a narration about future scenarios forecasting, and it is one of the most famous storytelling types. Prediction is the same as trends, so it can reveal data patterns through pattern history, where we can forecast future scenarios such as weather, customer behavior, risk, business growth, and seasonal sales. So in prediction data storytelling, it is widely used by data scientists in order to analyze problems, to find trends, to draw insights, and also to do predictive modeling to forecast future happenings. And a predictive data story should connect the dots for the current trend being depicted, find the underlying patterns and reason for the same, and predict the future course of events. So prediction is important since it could assist user in making decisions and formulating planning from past experience. Even though the prediction might not be 100% accurate, it is still helpful enough to prepare for possibilities. So for any organization that its objective is to make profit, okay, so they will produce this kind of prediction data storytelling for all products and services that they are manufacturing or that they are producing. So it helps them to see, okay, to forecast profit they can make, okay, and also to make to investigate how much resources that they would need. So even though it is not 100% accurate, but it is helpful, okay, to prepare for any possibilities. However, to generate a predictive model, it is not easy. So the data must first be understood, okay, and the model must be formulated, okay, through a certain statistical or mathematical formula to a higher accuracy. And it is often time consuming, where it requires experts, okay, in order to perform this investigation, this prediction, and thus it is costly. Even for organization that is not a profit-making organization such as UITM, so we need to also forecast the number of students that we are actually acquiring, or that we are actually targeting to enroll, okay, in order for the top management to make justification of how many resources in terms of how many lecturers needed, how many classes needed, okay, how many how much if in terms of the students placement, do they need college, okay, and how many cafeteria that we have to offer to be open in the university, and so on. So it is very helpful, okay, to help an organization, okay, to perform its operation. So among these three types of data storytelling, prediction, explanatory, and also reporting, so you are more, for example, for your project, we are more working towards the reporting types of data storytelling. And in the next subtopic, okay, we will discuss on how to create, okay, such a report.